He scored an unofficial 997 RAS out of a possible 10. This ranked third out of 622 from 1987 to 2025. Third. You want to know who made the most noise though today? And I mean quite literally made the most noise? Armand Membou, offensive tackle out of Mizzou. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, hope all of you having a great interior weekend. If not, hope this video can make it a little bit better. Man, oh man, the draft combine is officially in the books, and you know what we're about to do. We're about to talk about it, and we're going to recap day 4. I can't speak for you, but I've really enjoyed this. I guess we'll call it a mini-series we've been doing on the channel, just covering the combine every single day. Today, which is Sunday, your last and final day, aka day 4, it was your offensive linemen. Day 1, which started on Thursday, was your defensive linemen and linebackers. Friday, defensive backs, tight ends. And Saturday, everybody's favorite day, quarterbacks, wide receivers, and running backs. Today is obviously not the most exciting day because it's offensive linemen. However, this is a very, and I mean very important position. And there's some big-time winners, but also there's some big-time losers. And by the way, I got to address this. Will Howard, and this is also a different video for a different day. We may talk about this tomorrow. He has been trending all over Twitter because of the combine. I did throw him in that loser category yesterday, but everyone on Twitter, they're acting like this guy was trash. I'm not going to get into it too much, although I really want to talk about it because this video is solely dedicated to day 4. However, with that being said, I will say this before we get a move on. There is a lot of people out here that feel like Will Howard is really, and I mean really overrated. Like I said, I'll probably talk about that tomorrow, so be on the lookout. First things first, this might be your biggest winner day 4, Eli Cox, offensive lineman from Kentucky. Not too sure why I said offensive lineman because now that I think about it, everybody's going to be a no lineman. I digress, but take a look at these numbers, and here's your nerdy stat of the day. He scored an unofficial 997 RAS out of a possible 10. This ranked third out of 622 from 1987 to 2025. Third. You can see his numbers right here for yourself, and I'm not going to read them out loud, but if you got 2 eyeballs, you can put 2 and 2 together. He ranks in the top percentile in dang near everything. Vertical, broad jump, 40-yard dash, 20-yard split, 10-yard split, and the list goes on and on. He crushed it. Congratulations to him. You know who didn't crush it? One of the biggest losers of the day, Tyler Booker, offensive guard from Alabama. Oh, brother, this guy would have been better off staying home because he didn't do himself any favors. He scored a 4.03 out of a possible 10. This ranks 946 out of 1,583 guards. You don't got to be a rocket scientist to figure out when you see a lot of red on any person's chart, it's not good. I'll tell you who I liked. He didn't necessarily blow it out of the water, but Tate Ratledge from Georgia. He's 6'6", 300 pounds, and ran a 4.97. Yeah, I like that. He looked really agile out there, which is not something you're accustomed to seeing when you're talking about offensive linemen. Had great numbers all across the board, and by the way, he also scored a 997 out of a possible 10. If you are curious, this ranks 5th out of 1,583 offensive guards. If you got to ask me, I'd say he definitely made himself a couple million more dollars, and he's going to get drafted probably a round or 2 earlier than he was supposed to. I could be highly mistaken, but I'm pretty sure in all the mock drafts, they had Tate falling to the 3rd and 4th round, but after this performance, he could get drafted in the late 2nd round. This is just a personal preference, by the way. I like offensive linemen that are quick. Why? Because look at the modern era of the NFL. Look at the edge rushers. They're quick. Therefore, you need something to counter that. And it's not just the edge rushers that are quick, it's also the interior rushers. Everybody's getting fast. You see it in the NBA, you see it in the NFL, you see it everywhere. The game's getting faster and faster and faster, and that's just human evolution at its finest. I don't just want a big guy on the offensive line. You know what your boy Matt wants? I want an athletic big guy, and there's a difference. It's like in basketball. Sure, a 7-footer's good, but if they have 0 hand-eye coordination, it doesn't amount to a hill of beans. Give me a 6'8" center over a 7-foot center that has way better hands and coordination. If I were an NFL fan, maybe you watching this video, you have a certain team you go for, I would want my team to go get Tate Ratledge in the 2nd round. That's just me, though. That's just me. Keeping it on trend here with the winners, Will Campbell from LSU. Woo! Hold on. Clap it up, clap it up. What a performance. He already had a ton of hype around his name, but after this performance, it just solidified that he's as good as advertised. I could sit up here and rant and rave on him for the next 2, 3, 4 minutes. I'm going to give you a long story short. He's the definition of a monster. He is the best tackle in this draft class, and I don't think it's that close. Guys that are the size of Will Campbell shouldn't be moving the way that Will Campbell's moving. It's just very, very, and I mean very unique. Congratulations to him. He just secured and locked up generational wealth. You want to know who made the most noise, though, today? And I mean quite literally made the most noise? Armand Membou, offensive tackle out of Mizzou. He was screaming. I mean, he was screaming during his 40-yard dash, but rightfully so, he ran a 4.91. Good googly moogly. A man that is 6'4", 332 pounds should not be running a 4.91 40-yard dash. Insane. He also scored an unofficial 9.82 out of a possible 10. Pretty dang good. His top speed during his run was over 20 miles per hour. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I'm going to remind you, we're talking about offensive linemen in this video. 20 miles per hour. I don't think I need to say much more about him. He's one of your biggest winners. And last but not least, when it comes to your biggest winners, Jared Wilson from Georgia. He ran a 4.84. I'm going to say this one more time. A 4.84. Shaking my head. He also scored a 9.98. I'm going to say it one more time. A 9.98 out of a possible 10. Look, I get it 10,000%. It's not flashy and really fun for anybody to talk about offensive linemen, especially in this pre-draft process and in the combine and yada, yada, yada. You get what I'm trying to say. Some of you probably are still doing this. If you are, let me just tell you right now, you're in the best days of your life. But if you're, I guess, an old head like your boy Matt, I'm only 25, but some people call me Unc. I digress. Back in the day when you were at the lunch table with your boys talking about sports, you would never talk about, oh, well, did you see that offensive lineman at the combine? Did you see how fast he ran his 4-yard dash? I mean, those conversations never got brought up. What'd you talk about? Wide receivers, quarterbacks, running backs, skill positions. But I'm telling you right now, as the older I've gotten, the more I've started to pay attention to positions like right guard, left guard, tackle, center, the entire offensive lineman. I think it's fascinating. Those positions are so important, and I know this is going to sound like common football knowledge 101, but a lot of people don't think about it. If your offensive line can't block, you have a 0% chance of winning any football game. That's the first line. You got to be able to block. You got to hold up. And plus, too, I enjoyed watching these guys perform today. It was a sight to see. As you've seen with all these numbers I've shown you, there were some really spectacular performances. Some of the best you're ever going to witness. Our last loser and last player when we talk about in today's video is Wyatt from West Virginia. Not bad, like not really bad, but just not good either. It was average. He scored a 7.3 out of 10, but here's the thing. As you can see, these numbers, they're all yellow. 40-yard dash was nothing to get excited about, and he ran a 5.28. There were people thinking he could have been a first-round pick, but after today, I don't see that happening. That's a long shot. There's many more things I could say, but that's all there is to it. And before we end out this video, I do want to say this. I greatly appreciate you guys keeping up with this draft combine like myself. This is the first time we've ever done a series like this on the channel, and I thought it turned out great. I really enjoyed watching the combine every single day and getting up here and making a long story short for you guys. So hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. I'm already looking forward to doing this next year, and let me address this. Okay, final thing I'm going to say. I've seen all the comments, everybody saying, Matt, you got to do a mock draft. Matt, when are you making a mock draft? Matt, when's the mock draft? I've seen them. I don't know, man. I don't know. Number one, I don't feel like enough people on the channel would even like to see me do a mock draft. Number two, there's a ton, and I mean a ton of stuff that goes into that. We might do it. We might not. No promises. I'm curious. Let me know your thoughts on us down below. But